So I'm just looking at, setting up things here. Recently, I posted a video on the jobs that are here in Ireland, and it was just about jobs that bus driver jobs and home care worker jobs, and what other jobs were there. Yes, and dairy farm jobs in dairy farms. And it was just like, these were new jobs that had just been announced. They'd announced that now in Ireland, moving forward, they were going to offer work permits for these jobs. And these jobs were jobs that were previously not on the work permit. There were jobs that were previously not qualifying for work permits. So today, I'm just here just to educate you and to tell you how can you get these jobs. Because, most of the questions that came was, how can I get this job? How can I get this job as a home care worker, as a home care assistant, a healthcare assistant? How can I get just this job as a bus driver? How can I get this job in the dairy farm and all that? So the first thing, I'm just adjusting my camera over here. So the first thing that you need to know is that there is no way that you can get these jobs without applying. So the only way that you can get a job, the first thing is to make sure that you have at least, number one, you do the job search. And in the there, I just posted resourceful websites. I mentioned websites such as Indeed.com. I mentioned websites such as irishjobs.ie, jobsireland.ie, monster.ie. There were so many, so many other job sites that I posted there. So then, like the simplest way of looking for a job, and it is very obvious. It's the most obvious and the simplest way of looking for a job. It's called, open this website. Once the website is open, and I'll try go here on my computer, for instance. I type in Irish jobs. Yeah, so you have jobs.ie. Then I type in something like, let's say I'm looking for home care assistant. Let's do the search. And I just try to, I don't know if this camera can see this. I'll try to see if it can see. No, it's too much. So you see already 67 home care assistant jobs that are here, that have been listed here. When you check like 67 of them, I can see assistant support worker, and they're all paying 28,000 to 32,000, home care assistant, and 32,000 euros per annum for a home care worker. That is roughly, when you convert to Kenyan shillings, that's around 4 million per year for an assistant home and a home care assistant. There's a home care assistant required in Dublin area, home support workers required, person support, and all these things were posted like recently, just recently in December, and this announcement was made not long ago. So that is how you search. That is how you start searching. However, you need to know that there are processes before you take up a job. When there are questions that you'll be asked, and you'll be asked questions like, do you have permission to work in Ireland? So obviously you don't have permission to work in Ireland, so that is why you're in Kenya, unless you're an Irish citizen or you have your spouse lives in Ireland, and when you come here you'll have permission to work. So permission to work means that do you have the visa that allows you to work? So obviously when you're out of this country and you're not an EU citizen, you're not an Irish citizen, you do not have permission to work. You must seek some sort of sponsorship or another. So then these jobs, you get the job offer first. Once you get the job offer, the second thing is you get your employer. You talk with the employer. your prospective employer, because now that one has given you the offer to apply for a work permit for you. And most of these jobs I'm seeing, they're above 30,000, and work permits will have a threshold of for some jobs 27,000 per annum. And this is just roughly like it's very good money, just money playing around 300,000 Kenyan shillings. That is normally like the lowest that they can give a work permit on. However, also like most immigrants, like if you are here and you're working on a work permit, the lowest salary that you're earning is actually 300,000 Kenyan shillings, which is when you convert, that is like around let's say roughly 2,200 euros. That is the lowest money that you are earning. 2,400, 2,500 euros. That is the lowest money that you're earning, because most people are just earning above that. And after they apply for the work permit. Now the next thing is that the work permit, there's a process of applying for a work permit. And I'll put, in the next videos, I'll be talking about this. There are two ways. Your employer can decide to apply for you, or you can decide to foot the expenses. And normally it costs around 1,000 euros if you are taking up a general work permit, you see. Then there are different types of permits, different types of work permits. There's an express work permit for researchers. There's a work permit for people who are on the critical skills employment list. Then there's also a work permit for just general employment. And there's a list I had posted in one of my previous videos. If you check these videos, you'll find these jobs, the jobs that you can take up that can earn you sponsorship in Ireland. There's a video that I've talked about that. And so once you get the work permit, now the next thing is visa, because now you need visa to enter into Ireland. So apply for your visa, book an appointment, fill in the form. You're migrating here on work, so it's a work visa. Make an appointment in your local consulate, maybe a visa processing center, like in Kenya, in Nairobi. Make an appointment there. Go for your visa appointment. Submit your documents. It's not a very rigorous process, and it's not a very intimidating process, like, you're going for interviews and all sorts. As long as your documents are in order, that's it. Then the next step is, once you have your visa done, then you're on the plane, then you come to Ireland, you see. It is that simple. So the process is you get the job offer. No, the process is search for these jobs. Look for jobs that fit your skills. Then number two, apply for the work permit, or the employer to apply for the work permit for you. Then number three, book an appointment for the visa. Make an application, a visa. So the visa that grant you permission to enter into Ireland. Then now you can move into Ireland. Then after moving into Ireland, now once you arrive here, again, you're supposed to register as a resident. And that's, you register with the immigration. That's where you can go, you register, and you get a resident permit. So the work of this permit will have like some certain restrictions, like what are you allowed to do in Ireland? What are you not allowed to do in Ireland? For instance, you have permission to work, or you have permission to work and engage in business, or you have permission to engage in business, or you have permission to study, or you have permission, you have permission just to stay without getting into employment or starting a business. So it depends with what your permit talks about. But when you come here on a job, when you have a job offer, then you'll have permission to work. Then what else? Yeah, so then that's it. Once you have this card, then as long as your contract is running, you'll just be going back to renew this contract, this card every year, at the end of every year, for 5 years, at least for 5 years, until when you apply for your citizenship, so that you can become an Irish citizen. And once you're an Irish citizen, you no longer need these cards. And the advantage of this card is that, the moment you get into Ireland, when you travel back home, you'll need to come back. So when you have this resident permit, then you can, you can come back. You can fly back home and come back at any time without applying for any visa. So it's an in, out. But it's only valid in Ireland, because Ireland is not in the Schengen. Ireland is a country on its own. It's in the European Union, but it's not in the Schengen region. So don't think that the Irish resident permit will give you access to other European countries, such as Schengen countries. It will only give you access to Ireland. Like, you can get out and come back, get out and come back as you wish. So in the next video, I will be talking about, I'll be pointing out practically, I'll go practically to show you, like, this is how you search for a job. And this is how you search for this home care job. This is how you search for this bus driver job. This is how you search for these dairy jobs, and how you make an application. Because now, a lot of people are asking me, like, I posted, and, everybody is interested in knowing, like, how can I get this job? So thank you very much, but make sure that you circulate this video so that we reach a lot of people. And the reason is just because, many people out there have skills, but the information is not out there. So once they get this information, then they are able, even for them, they can also, move abroad. Like, moving abroad is not only for people who have degrees and first degrees and masters and PhDs and all that. So as long as you have a skill, like, you see, like the whole, dairy, in the dairy sector, when there are lots of people who have even certificates in vet or just animal husbandry and such kind of things, this TVET thing, you can take up, like, you can fly with it and, come to Ireland. Why not? So subscribe so that you can keep on, getting the content here. And I'll be bringing people, like, sometimes, when we tell you, you think this is just, for the purpose of, they call it cloud chasing, or I don't know what, for the purpose of just, shining in the moment. But we'll bring very practical example of people who have applied for these jobs, and they're here in Ireland, they have settled, and they will be telling you, like, how did they do it? How did they start the process? How was the process for them until from the time they came from Kenya to when they arrived in Ireland? That's it for today, and Merry Christmas.